The Utah Jazz get beat, PK, but it was a 3-point game in the second half. They lost 111-95. Are there Jazz fans out there taking a little solace in the fact a bunch of reserves made the world champs work hard?
I believe they broke a sweat.
Yes, says Steve. Baby steps. They showed some pride. They could have rolled over. But the youngins showed some fight.
Who?
He says it'll be easier to make decisions on guys like Yurtseven, Juzang, Samanic, Basic, etc. this offseason, having a better idea where they are or where they are or what they are or what they are not.
Well, what they're not is NBA rotational players on a contending team.
That is true. Can they be? Still having to judge some of these guys on potential. Johnny Juzang has gotten better. How much better can he get? Questions for Danny Ainge and Jay-Z to ponder this summer.
Well, their draft choices sucked.
It's a struggle.
They had no impact on the game whatsoever. Hendricks 1 of 5 boards, 22 minutes. George 4 of 11. I suppose it's okay, but he had 5 turnovers. The young guys, the true young guys, didn't do much. Sensabaugh 2 of 9.
Struggler, strugglist, if we can make up words.
So are you looking? You want Horton Tucker, who led the team in scoring. You want him off the team. You don't even want him on the team.
Nope.
I mean, he's become your whipping guy for some reason that I don't understand. So what young guy showed you something?
Yurtseven and Juzang is who Steve's going with. That's where he started.
Well, obviously, Juzang not last night. You're talking about 2 nights.
Coming off the 27-point game, he had a 5-point game. The law of numbers was in full effect.
Well, the scouting report is we got to stop Johnny Juzang.
2 of 8 shooting the ball.
And Yurtseven, 20 and 11. So he had. I mean, I have never
had the game of his life.
I don't know. I never even heard of him before
he was
this
on his
year.
Team. Had the game of the season.
I mean, he was playing at Georgetown, and Georgetown has sucked for years.
It's been a long stretch.
Yeah. So is he anything there? The thing about it is the guys who had an impact on getting back into the game, which is so misleading. I mean, the Nuggets sleptwalked through quarters 2 and 3. And, it's a close game again, so we'll outscore you 24 to 15.
We'll turn on the Jets.
Yeah.
They held them to 17 points in the first quarter when it felt like it mattered, and they held them to 15 points in the fourth quarter when it felt like it might matter.
Right. So I'm supposed to praise that? I mean, right now, I don't see anybody who stepped on the floor that would be a major contributor in them winning 40 games next year.
I believe you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Tell me 8 guys who will be in the rotation, the core of it, if they're trying to win next year. I can't guarantee any of these guys will be those guys. I mean, somebody might play their way into it, but...
Do you have a problem with them giving Horton Tucker 32 minutes when you traded for a guy like Lewis and you elevated a kid like Preston off the G League? And Lewis doesn't even get in the game, and Preston plays 6 minutes, and Horton Tucker's taking 23 shots.
Yeah, I don't get why he's playing. I think they're frustrated with him. I don't think he's going to be back. So I don't get why he's playing.
Well, why would they be frustrated with him if they're giving him 32 minutes?
Because he's broken the offense numerous times.
Why would he get 32 minutes?
I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't care what he did 6 weeks ago. Man. He played 32 minutes.
I guess because he was putting the ball in the basket and they scored 17 points in the first quarter and they needed somebody to put the ball in the basket and he might do it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do they need somebody to put the ball in the basket?
Because that's the goal of the game. Although the goal of the game is also to win, and they haven't been trying to win since the All-Star break, so what are we doing here? Which is actually a question we're all asking each other on a regular basis and just shaking our heads. What are we doing here? We're getting through it and getting to the summer, and then we'll see either who they draft or who they acquire through a trade.
Yeah, but what 8th pick of the draft is going to come in and do marvelous wonders next season? No one. That doesn't mean he's not a good player.
Right.
They took Hayward at, 9?
And it took a while.
Yeah.
Which
is fine.
It was a process.
Yeah. And as it should be. He played 2 years in college, and you're going up against the pros. It shouldn't be. Because if you were able to make immediate impact, you wouldn't be drafted 8th. So the point I'm going with is that nothing that happened against the Nuggets gave me any form of progress. Promise.
Not the first morning you could come in and say that. I mean, you're taking the long view here. If you could say that, you wouldn't just be waiting to get through the season and get to the offseason to see what moves the front office makes.
Right, but I could still say it if Hendricks and George and Sensabaugh did something that caught my eye, but they didn't.
They didn't, no.
I mean, Hendricks makes 1 3, and I thought they were going to release confetti.
That'd be a little overstated. And the confetti cannon goes off.
I mean, the guys that you want to have something happen
didn't have anything happen.
Yeah. So that sends up greater alarm. I would love to paint this as rosy as possible, but the fans don't want to hear that.
Nope.
They want to hear some form of truth. Not to say that I have absolute truth and everything I say is right. It's darn near close. But I'm not going to the game to see Horton Tucker take 23 shots.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. If only we had the answers. But instead, we get through 3 games in the rest of this week and wait for the offseason. See what the front office does. When we come back, Bob joins us from the Masters. Bob Casper's here. The Masters draft is coming up. We'll get his thoughts as Augusta gets ready to get going. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.